He has, in a very deliberative way, created conditions that are straining our military, underfunding it with respect to what actually gets to the troops on the ground and what they get when they get home. Yet the defense budget is $500 billion, and there's just no excuse for the priorities of this administration. I think that the president should not assume that he has any authority to do anything with respect to Iran. He needs to come to the Congress, and neither the resolution regarding Afghanistan nor Iraq give him authority to take offensive action. We do need to have a tough, smart policy toward Iran. And I'm hoping that perhaps the administration has begun to see a little bit of the light with the recent announcement by Condi Rice that she at least will be meeting with her counterparts. So let's hope that the administration has learned from some of their errors. You know, they were very critical of nation building and peacekeeping and stability operations during the 90s. And now they're having to reinvent the wheel because they have totally decimated our capacity to do what everybody knows we have to do, both in Afghanistan and in Iraq and in facing other threats around the world. Well, I want to be really careful about how people think concerning the problems we face. The care that people receive at the battlefield site and during the evacuation and when they are first taken care of at any of our military hospitals in terms of the acute care they receive is very good. We do not hear complaints about what is done to save lives and save limbs and deal with, you know, really terrible injuries that people have. The problem comes when someone moves from the acute care setting to the outpatient care and to the determination, if their injury is serious enough, what level of disability they have, so that they know what their future holds, how much money they and their family will have. They're forced to make decisions when they're really unprepared to do so. Do they want to go in the Department of Defense system or the VA system? And you know, we're just not being sensitive to the very real problems that a lot of these young men and women face after their acute medical care has completed. You know, many of them get back up and go right back to their units. That's what they want to do. I mean, I've been in hospital rooms with severely injured soldiers and Marines, and when you ask them, well, what can I do for you? They'll say, ma'am, just get me back to my unit. So, you know, there are a lot of people who just are waiting to get well enough to try to be eligible to return to active duty. Well, many others, those days are over, and we're not doing enough to help them transition into the next phase of their life. Well, there are now two commissions that are examining the facts of these allegations about poor treatment and bureaucratic nightmares that have been, you know, haunting our soldiers. And I'm going to wait to see what these commissions say. I really commend Secretary Gates for taking fast action. It's such a welcome change from his predecessor, who wouldn't hold anybody accountable for anything unless they were just a low-level, you know, person who they could, you know, basically pin everything on. And that has been a terrible error in refusing to take accountability for the actions of this administration. So Secretary Gates has moved. He's got one internal commission. Now the president has appointed the commission chaired by former Senator Dole and former Secretary of Health and Human Services Donna Shalala. I have a lot of confidence in them, and I think we'll get some good guidance about what should be done with respect to personnel and other changes. Thanks, everybody.